Hello everybody! Today, I'm going to show you how to successfully raise an ant colony from a queen to dozens of workers. Hope this video helped you. Hope you enjoy! So first you need to get yourself a hold of a queen ant, as she will produce the eggs that will turn into workers and will grow your colony for years or even decades to come. So there are 3 ways to get yourself a hold of queen ants. The first option is that you can buy queen ants online from pretty much every ant keeping website you can get yourself a hold of. This is the easiest option because you don't really have to do much work, although some money will get taken away from your wallet. Also, you should remember to only buy queens that are native to your area for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, they will probably not adapt to your conditions, especially if their area is warm and your area is cold. And secondly, if you have to release the colony at any point, for whatever reason, they will have a negative impact on your surrounding environment. The second option, and probably the hardest option, is to dig up already established colonies in the wild and take the queen and maybe some brood and workers. Now the reason this is the hardest option is that, number 1, ant nests can be up to several meters deep, and the queen can be really deep within the nest usually, which makes it hard to find her. Number 2, you can risk injuring or killing the queen. And number 3, it's just kind of cruel. I mean, if you think about it, taking a queen from a colony in the wild, especially if they have a positive impact on the environment, isn't really the best experience. So the very last option is to go outside, look for queens that have mated during their nuptial flights, and are now looking for a suitable place to start their colony. If you're wondering when nuptial flights happen, they can happen as early as February and as late as October. But most queens fly between June and August. And also, it's preferably that you look for queens without wings, but if you spot one with wings, then you can take that too, because it might take off the wings later, or keep them on forever but still lay eggs, and which will hatch into workers. Now let's say that you've gotten a queen ant. Now you're asking yourself, where should I put her? I mean, I can't just leave her in my house, right? Well, you've asked the right question. Probably by far the best suitable place you can put your queen in is a test tube setup, which is basically a test tube filled up halfway with water and then a cotton to block off the water and also to make a drinking source for the ants, and another piece of cotton to make a lid so the ants can't escape. This will house your queen and the first few generations of workers for the next few months. If you chose option 1 and ordered a queen from online, then she will come inside a test tube setup, so you won't really have to worry about anything. But if you chose option 2 or 3, you have to make it yourself. Remember that you just have to get a test tube, fill it halfway with water, use a cotton to block off that water to make a drinking source, then use another cotton piece as a lid. So this next step is going to be really hard for you, probably. It was hard for me, and it's probably going to be hard for you. And that is leaving your queen ants alone. It's kind of hard. I mean, when we first get our queen ants from online, outside, or from an established nest, we want to check on them, and we want to see what they look like. And, we can't go 5 minutes without seeing them. but that stresses out the queen, and if she is too stressed, she cannot lay eggs, or even eat her already laid eggs and brood. So it's best to leave your queen ants in the dark, but it doesn't hurt to check up on them once a week or so, just to see how they're doing. Like, you can leave them alone in the dark until they have workers. So yeah. Oh, and forgot to mention, there are 3 types of queens. Fully colostral queens, which don't need any food until they get workers. Semi-colostral queens, which need food before they get workers. And parasitic queens, which go into a colony and assassinate the actual queen and trick the workers into thinking she was the queen all along. Now, let's say that the first workers have finally arrived, and you moved them out of the dark and onto your desk or something like that. Well, after a few days, when the first worker hatches, it's probably a good idea to give them their first meal, which should almost certainly be a sugary liquid, like honey. Now, when your colony has had their first meal, you should start feeding them at least once a week with stuff like mealworms, more honey, maple syrup, sugar water, maybe cricket legs, and other stuff like that. So once your colony reaches at least 5 workers or more, or the test tube gets moldy, or it runs out of water, then it's time to move your ants into an ant farm. Kinda like this one. Now at this point, you're destined to become a great ant keeper. Anyways, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. And I hope this video helped you on how to raise an ant colony. And if you liked this video, you can leave a like and maybe subscribe. It really helps. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.